A very warm welcome back to the channel, and in today's proceedings, well, there's coverage on Delta announcing some pretty exciting upgrades to its fleet with a strong focus on the premium product, developments on Boeing, who are once more being sued, and Icelandair looking to mitigate some of the losses that they experience during the downturn period of demand in the winter. Let me begin with Boeing. According to new court filings, Boeing shareholders have launched legal action towards the plane maker. This occurred at the beginning of February. This legal action comes as these shareholders believe that Boeing misled them over the safety lapses that would be identified when a door blowout occurred on an Alaska Airlines 737-9. The lawsuit is directed to several people, as you can see on your screen, not just the Boeing company, but leading current and past executives. Ultimately, for the plane maker, well, this isn't the first bit of legal action that has come their way, not just following the most recent incidents, but in the past too. We know that there were Alaska Airlines passengers that launched legal action citing trauma. In this claim, though, one of the parts highlighted by the shareholders is that towards the end of 2019, the company said it was beginning to take strides in improving quality and turning the corner on the business. However, this ultimately would not take place, as in early 2024, those quality concerns that Boeing claimed they were fixing came undone once more, per shareholders. This legal action also indicates that quality is only being focused on once more because of a near disaster. This indicates, if anything, what has been occurring on the floor and higher up has been unacceptable and has led to the revelation of these quality issues. But imagine if there wasn't a near disaster. How long would it have gone on for? That's their point. In specifically point 8 of the summary of action, you'll be able to find the full legal action down below in the description, but they basically say, unbeknownst to investors, statements such as those above were false and misleading because Boeing failed to disclose that it had been prioritizing its profits over safety, which led to poor quality control standards in the production of its commercial aircraft, such as the 737 MAX, resulting in heightened risk of manufacturing flaws, which could render the company's new airplanes unsafe. Following the door blowout incident and further loose bolts being identified, we know that the FAA launched an investigation into key practices at the plane maker and essentially how the released aircraft were produced. For the latest round of legal action, one of the biggest concerns is how these shareholders felt led on by Boeing, who were, per their executives, turning a corner. The legal action has also explored several comments over the years that have, according to them, painted an inaccurate picture of the inner workings at the plane maker that is being portrayed or has been portrayed by executives. I'll leave a screenshot on your screen of just some of them, but they go along the lines of comments such as, "We'll stay true to our enduring values of safety, quality, and integrity while driving operational excellence across the enterprise. We will never waver in our commitment. The importance of our work demands it. Nothing is more important to us than safety of our customers and the flying public. The safe return to service of the 737 MAX is our company's top priority." You can thus see several examples on your screen, like I mentioned, that highlight these comments that obviously were not true, and that is why these shareholders do feel led on. This is, as I mentioned, the latest round of legal action that is impacting the plane maker, and for them, it's frustrating, but you'd argue also expected. This situation was never going to just simply blow over, and it's going to take some time for Boeing to get things right once more, and they'll have to navigate these problems and hope they don't pop up again. As I'll always say, a better Boeing is a better aviation industry for it. So we'll see what takes place over the coming months. On to today's next story, and that is Icelandair, who have made the decision to lease out aircraft and capacity during the upcoming winter season as they look to navigate ongoing shifts in demand. Icelandair is hardly the first, and I'd argue will definitely not be the last, to express struggles during specific times of the year when demand drops significantly. Several low-cost transatlantic carriers, including the likes of Norse Atlantic and formerly Norwegian, among many more, have encountered something similar. While summer will see demand levels skyrocket, demand drops as the weather worsens. These airlines thus will struggle financially in these months. While summer performance is solid, the negatives of winter mean uncertainty over the long-term sustainability of such a business. And as a result, airlines have attempted wherever possible to mitigate some losses by adjusting their route network during the winter months. Leasing out aircraft or adopting, say, another initiative is how they're going to approach this. Icelandair, at least, have identified the leasing out capacity as something they're more than willing to try. The company's chief executive highlighted that demand during the winter months is at an absolute low point, and certainly following the pandemic. While leisure demand has recovered, that is seasonal rather than year-round, and as highlighted by several leading analysts, but also figures that are being reported by airlines, business travel recovery has lagged. Icelandair believes leasing out capacity to other airlines in need during the winter will be key to mitigating some of the low points and overall better utilization of the resources that they are fortunate enough to have. While the future outlook has been solid and there's a load of opportunities in the transatlantic space for Icelandair, there are visible challenges that lie in front of them that they must navigate successfully first. Leasing out capacity during the low demand points is again only one of the several initiatives that have been identified and actually publicly said by the chief executive. Ultimately, the other initiatives are yet to be named, but it will all be in a goal of trying to drive the unit cost lower. On to the final story of today, and Delta says that as part of its commitment to increasing customer satisfaction levels, it'll make a significant cabin refresh aboard the 737-800 aircraft from this month. As part of the refresh, the airline will focus on improving premium travel for customers with the newest edition of first-class seats set to roll out across the fleet. These seats are not technically brand new. They debuted first on the next generation A321neo, but since their introduction, Delta has said they've been well received. Delta goes on to say that the seat offers customers additional privacy and stowage space, which means more personal items such as devices can remain within view. Delta says while a substantial amount of focus again is going to be placed inside the aircraft, it'll also take initiatives to upgrade its aircraft outside. As part of these plans, the fleet will be upgraded by installing split scimitar winglets. The airline says the enhancement will make aircraft more fuel efficient, saving a staggering 3.3 million gallons of fuel per year. The A350 is next on Delta's radar, with this being a hugely important part of their long-haul flying nowadays, and will also see adjustments there. Delta says it's adding 8 more of its award-winning lie-flat suites to the Dash 900, with a view to upgrade the premium travel experience aboard its services. Following the latest announcement, the airline says that the Dash 900s will now feature 40 Delta One suites, 40 premium select seats, 36 Delta Comfort Plus, and 159 in the main cabin. Overall, this newly configured A350 will see a higher reliance on premium products. The carrier says that the configuration will first enter service in the summer 2024 season, obviously when there is a substantial amount of demand there. I just wanted to thank you very much for your support here on the channel. That is going to conclude today's aviation news recap. If you have any thoughts, you're more than welcome to drop them down below in the comments. Thanks again. Please do take care. Do also be safe. Stay tuned. Same place, same time tomorrow for your latest industry developments. And we'll fly.